At first, I have to say shout out to Mama Rita. Shout out to Rita Marley because Rita Marley understood the assignment and secured the legacy. Let me repeat that. Rita Marley understood the assignment and secured the legacy. This video, welcome back to the channel, y'all. If you've never been here before, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Click the bell next to the subscribe button so you're notified every time a new video goes up on SouFLoTV. Rita Marley's net worth and her role as reggae music's matriarch. Let's get into the details. So, I found this information right here, and I thought it would be valuable to share because on the heels of the great Bob Marley and his legacy, they have a saying, every king has a queen standing somewhere next to him or playing a role in the background that allows him to shine up front. Such is the case of Bob Marley with Rita Marley. It's no secret, Rita Marley did and put up with a lot more than many women would have put up with. Many women know Rita Marley's story with Bob Marley. And many women have said, I would never, I don't know how she did that. Well, it takes vision and foresight to secure a legacy like this. And today, people are wondering, well, how much is she worth? What type of money is she sitting on, or wealth? Well, let's get into all that. So Rita Marley isn't just Bob Marley's widow. She's a reggae legend in her own right. Rita Marley is a savvy businesswoman and a cultural matriarch who built a multi-million-dollar empire while preserving her family's legacy. And please, we're not talking about multi-million dollars in Jamaican dollars and cents. Just for the record, we're talking multi-million dollars in the United States of America dollars and cents, in British pounds then. So, her journey spans decades into the music, into activism, and resilience, cementing her as a pillar in history. Through her work with the I Trees, she helped shape the sound of reggae music, bringing a distinct feminine energy to the genre. If you remember, we discovered in the recent Bob Marley movie, One Love, that it was Rita Marley who actually introduced Bob Marley to Rasta and Rastafari, if you want to call it Rastafarianism. But the Rastas I know, as soon as you go ism, they say, nope, that's not what it is. Rasta is a way of life. We don't deal with isms. So, before the scenes, before the scenes and behind the scenes, she took charge of Bob Marley's estate. Bob had passed away. She fought legal battles to secure his legacy, and she launched charitable foundations that uplift Black communities. From her early years in vocal groups of her leadership over the estate, she remains a powerful Jamaican figure, period, at the age of 78. Well, let's start out with how she became famous. Born Alfarita Constantia Anderson. I know somebody is like, who would name their child Alfarita Constantia? Well, Rita was not born in Jamaica. And I've also heard many Jamaican women joke around and say that's the reason why she was able to put up with so much from Bob Marley, especially concerning other women, because she wasn't Jamaican. Because Jamaican women would never. Born Alfarita Constantia Anderson on July 25th of 1946 in Santiago de Cuba. She moved to Kingston, Jamaica, and she began singing in a church. And then she gained attention in the 60s as a member of the Soulettes, a group called the Soulettes. In the early 70s, she joined the I Trees, providing harmonious backup vocals for the legendary Bob Marley and the Wailers on tracks like No Woman, No Cry, Her distinctive voice helped to define the band's classic songs, and her marriage to Bob Marley in 1966 only deepened her role in reggae's global rise. So she was very much an intricate part of everything, even the sound of the music. Now, though she's been known for being in the I trees, Marley, Rita Marley, has also developed a respected solo career herself. Her albums, including Who Feels It Knows It and We Must Carry On, those both earned international attention. Additionally, in 1982, her single, One Draw, actually hit number 48 on the Billboard disco charts. Her music reinforced her as a standout voice behind the shadow of her legendary husband. I mean, if you're going to even measure up to a Bob Marley, right? Well, here are the business ventures that Rita built. Because, of course, we're still talking about how she got to the shmoney, the money. So after Bob Marley's death in 1981, Rita, she took bold steps to preserve and to grow his legacy. And in 1986, she co-founded the Bob Marley Foundation, which provided philanthropic support in Jamaica through wellness, music, education, and more. She also significantly contributed to turning Bob Marley's old home on 56 Hope Road into a museum in Kingston, Jamaica. In 1981, she purchased the then Federal Records vinyl factory, and she moved Tough Gong studio operations there. Let's just say Bob Marley's museum is a landmark in Jamaica today, which many tourists fly to Jamaica just to go tour the Bob Marley Museum. Even President Obama went there when he went to Jamaica as well. Many other famous people around the world have been there. And Tough Gong Studios, many famous people, both in reggae music and in other genres of music from outside of Jamaica, have flown into Jamaica to record their music there, right? So she purchased that piece of property and she moved Tough Gong studio operations there under her stewardship. In 2024, filmmakers released Bob Marley's first ever biopic in theaters titled Bob Marley, One Love, after his hit song of the same name, One Love. Although the exact details aren't available, she likely earned compensation from that movie as well, since she's a part of the Marley's estate. Now, her strategic licensing deals, ranging from merchandise to music rights, are major sources of income. We're talking about millions of dollars in US dollars. And also in real estate. In 2020, she listed her 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom home that she has in the Bahamas for sale. According to People, the property was called La Randa. La Randa was originally built by a rum runner in 1920, a prestigious piece of property. The listing price at that time for it was 980,000 US dollars. According to Yen News, she also relocated to Ghana, Africa in the 90s, and she also has a home there. The eastern region of Ghana, to be exact. These assets contribute to a solid and diversified real estate portfolio that she has. Now, let's get down to it. How much is she actually worth in dollars and cents? Well, as of 2025, Rita Marley's net worth is estimated at 50 million US dollars, according to Celebrity Net Worth. Now, that impressive sum stems from several sources, including royalties, licensing, publishing revenues that are tied to the legacy of her husband, Bob Marley, and managing Bob Marley's estate hasn't always been smooth. She has spent years entangled in legal battles over publishing rights, but her perseverance has paid off. Today, the Marley brand generates a reliable multi-million dollar annual revenue stream on a consistent basis. In addition to her role in preserving and managing his estate, she has earned income through business ventures and ongoing royalties from her own solo music career. Her net worth isn't just a number, it's a reflection of her vision, her determination, and her cultural impact. She gracefully transformed from a backup singer in the 70s to a solo artist, then to the steward of one of music's most iconic legacies. And in doing so, she preserved Bob Marley's teachings and she elevated her own voice while building a formidable business and a philanthropic empire. What philanthropy is she known for, you might ask? Well, Rita Marley launched the Rita Marley Foundation in 2000, and this was launched to empower women and children in Jamaica and in Ghana. The foundation offers scholarships, it offers elderly care, and it offers healthcare support. According to Rita Marley Foundation website, she has adopted 35 children in Ethiopia and supported various education projects there as well. And her global volunteerism earned her honorary Ghanaian citizenship in 2013. Consequently, on August 1st, the country's Emancipation Day. Now, what awards and recognitions has she received, you might ask? Well, throughout her career, she has received numerous awards and accolades. These honors recognize her contribution to music, culture, and global humanitarian efforts. In 2014, she was inducted into the Caribbean Hall of Fame. The following year, 2015, the University of the West Indies, Mona, awarded her the Honorary Doctorate of Letters degree. In 2013, the government of Ghana, West Africa, granted her honorary Ghanaian citizenship. She also received the Living Legend Award from the African International Media Summit in 2012. She first received national recognition back in 1996 when the Jamaican government honored her with the Order of Distinction. These accolades reflect her dual impact on reggae music as both an artist and a social leader as well. So, again, she understood the mission. She secured the legacy. There are other questions out there you might ask, like what is her biggest hit song? Well, her 1982 solo single called One Draw, that landed on Billboard disco charts, marking one of reggae's early mainstream crossover successes. So she was charting, she was already laying the foundation and kicking doors in, so to speak, right? Does Rita Marley manage Bob Marley's musical rights? And the answer is yes. She co-runs the Bob Marley Foundation and Trust, oversees Tough Gong and the museum in Kingston, and licenses Bob's music and his brand globally. Remember, Bob Marley said he was going to put a wheel in motion, and that wheel would continue to, it's like a wheel running downhill, and it would continue to just pick up momentum as time goes by. Well, he was a true visionary because he did just that. And that wheel is in full motion and has more momentum now than ever before, with more momentum to build as it continues into the future. How old is Rita Marley in 2025, you might ask? As of July 25th, she is 78 years old and a net worth of $50 million of her own. We're not talking about Bob Marley's money and his estate money and all that. We're talking about Rita Marley's own. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Tell me what you think about this one. I'll catch you on the next video. I'm out. Peace.